Howdy all, it's Aaron here, and today I want to share with you how to increase profit in your clothing boutique. All right, as always guys, make sure that you grab something to take notes with and stick around until the end where I'm going to share with you the two most important numbers you need to understand and the software that we use to make it happen so that you can grow your business profitably. All right, so number one is a personalized customer journey. From the first time someone sees or hears about your brand, they start to form opinions about them. So I was in Target yesterday looking for books and just browsing around with my wife and daughter. And after 10 to 15 minutes, we find some of these books that were exclusive to Target. And my daughter points out the logo and starts to say Target. So even at a 2-year-old or as a 2-year-old, you start to form opinions on brands. So this was not her first time into the store, but she started to form an opinion over time on the brand on whether or not she likes it. So I knew she liked it because of the way she responded to it, but she could recognize the red circle and say Target. So very first impressions do matter. So the same goes for you and your customers. You need to reverse engineer their experience. So what do you want them to feel when they receive their first package from you? Where do you want them to do whenever they're tracking that package? I love to follow around on an app or some kind of tracking software. It's probably a video Christian could do for you guys. I know Amazon has that where you can track the package, where it's at on the stops, the pictures, but that's next level experience. How can you wow them at every step in the buyer's experience? If you do this well, I promise you the customer will come back and buy again and again. All right, guys, so before we cover number 2, I just want to say howdy. Again, my name is Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding, and we're an e-commerce growth agency that specializes in helping clothing boutiques and apparel brands grow consistently and profitably online. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our latest strategies for clothing boutiques and apparel brands, and we drop new content every single week. All right, so number 2 is to spend more time on creative and less time on ads. Now, I don't know the magical number here, but every boutique is different. If you focus on your user experience and great creative on Facebook, it's going to prioritize you over the competition. Now, Facebook does want your money. I'm not saying that they don't, but even more than your money, they know what they need, which is the most valuable asset, and that's attention. So if you have a great customer experience, you're going to keep people on Facebook longer, which in turn, Facebook is going to reward you by showing your content to more people. All right, so this is our creative setup to continually test, right? So every couple of weeks, we want to make sure that these elements are going into effect. So 3 lifestyle photos, 3 graphics, 2 collection style videos, which just means that you're showcasing products. There are collection style ads, different type of conversation, but showcasing products. And number 1 is a TikTok style video. This might start to take over the type of content that you create because it's becoming very popular and the ROI is extremely, extremely high. So here's some examples of what I'm talking about, and Franklin will show you some examples here so I know you know what I'm mentioning. All right, so number 3 is to go broad with your advertising. So whether it's Facebook, whether it's TikTok, whatever the platform is, we're talking Facebook specifically here, the cheapest cost per 1,000 impression, which is what Facebook charges you for, is when you are able to give Facebook more data. And data does not always have to be more money, but what it can be more people or more opportunity. So going broad gives you a lot larger audience. And when you have a larger audience, Facebook can go into different pockets and find the right people. Now, going broad works if you have this, a $200 to $250 a day budget with great creative, or you can run your ads for a longer period of time. So you could do $200 to $250 a day for a month, or you could run your same ads for $75 or $100 a day and run it for 2 to 3 months. Facebook just needs that data. Facebook needs data to figure out who your audience is, and then it will begin to get better and better and better over time. So, all right, so you may be familiar with interest targeting, and interest targeting is a short-term fix. It may get better results for you over the next 3 to 4 weeks, but broad will help you get an ROI over the next 3 to 4 months. You won't have to constantly be changing over and over and over again. Going broad will drop the cost per 1,000 impressions dramatically, which coupled with great creative will drastically increase your reach and sales over time. All right, before I show you the 2 most important numbers in your business to increase profit, I want to tell you about our free masterclass training for clothing boutiques and apparel brands that will walk you through the 5 pillars you must have in place for you to scale consistently and profitably, no matter what's going on in the world or changes with Facebook or Apple or anything else. These 5 things will help you grow your business profitably online. Make sure that you check the description for the link for that training down below. All right, so the 2 most important numbers. First off, let me just explain them in 2 different parts because they are a little separate, but they are combined together. So number 1 is the average order value. If you watched any of our previous videos, Christian talks about this in depth with apps. I talk about this in depth with other advertising tools, but AOV is average order value. So you can get this number through Shopify. You can get this number through whatever your platform is. We prefer Shopify. But what this is just total sales over a period of time and the average sale amount that each customer purchased. So if it's $60, if it's $70, if it's $80, honestly, the average order value doesn't really matter as far as like your particular brand. I could say 50 would be great, a great number, or 60 or 70 or whatever. The higher the number, the better. But for ads to work, you really want to be at an average order value minimum of $50 to be profitable. Now with the cost of ads and the cost of management and everything else, you really need to be around that $70 range. So you're thinking, how can I increase the average order value? That is another question. But if you know your average order value, you can improve it. How do you add more things to somebody else's cart? How do you increase your conversion rate? How do you get more purchases throughout the buyer's experience? So the average order value, extremely important number, but the most important number for you, right? If you have an okay average order value, let's say it's that $50 or $60 mark, but your lifetime value, which is the number of times somebody purchases with you over a period of time. The lifetime value is what I like to look at anyway, are 3, 6, and 12 months. So over 3 months, how much is somebody gonna spend with you? Over 6 months, how much are they gonna spend with you? And then for a year, how much are they gonna spend with you? A lot of times, a lot of people will drop off if you don't have good marketing after 12 months because you haven't been in front of them enough. But 3 months, 6 months, that's a lot more accurate, especially in clothing boutiques and apparel brands. If you have an average order value of say $60 and then the lifetime value is $400 and you have the systems in place, you know that you can acquire that customer and you may lose money on that first purchase. But lifetime, over the next 3 months, you know you're gonna make $340 more dollars, so it's gonna become profitable. Now, how can you acquire as many customers as possible at that $400 range? Once you've done that, you start to focus on the bigger problem in the business or the bigger opportunity in the business, which is how do you take that lifetime value from $400 to $800? Still acquiring them for $60 or maybe even less, $40 or $50, but now how do you make that customer worth $800 over 3 months? That is gonna help you drastically grow your business. What I would say here is there is a lot of ways to do this. And honestly, we used to improve these numbers manually. We found and created a spreadsheet that did this, and we would manually have virtual assistants and ourselves go in and put these numbers together to figure out the lifetime value over 3 and 6 months. But then we came across this tool called Triple Whale. I'm gonna show you what it looks like real quickly and just show you how powerful it is to get the information in this data so that you can make educated decisions in your business. All right, so this is a real life look of today, actually, of what's going on, right? So you can see the total sales through Shopify, the return on ad spend, the average order value, the lifetime value, amount spent on TikTok ads. This actually integrates with so many different tools. So TikTok, Klaviyo, they're working on stuff for ActiveCampaign. There's just a ton of different software out here, but those are kind of the main ones that we use it for. But let me see here, talking about AOV and lifetime value. So, all right, so this tool was recently installed. And so what you can see here is that there's a 3-month and a 6-month option. The average order value is $60. Lifetime value over this period in 60 days is 71, 90 is 71. So it's a brand new tool. We just installed it for this particular brand, but you can see over 90 days and 60 days, like where is the increase? So AOV is 60, which means that at this point, they're up almost 18% for 60-day range. And then 90-day, they're almost up 18%. Like I said, it's a new store, so they'll actually be able to see more data as it goes on moving forward. One last thing to look at here though is time between orders. So I like to look at the last 3 months, which is also something to help with lifetime value. How long does it take for somebody to buy the first time before the second purchase? All right, so this brand is actually an outlier. It's not normal, right? So the average order between first and second purchase for this brand is 5 days. second and third is 3 days, and then the third and fourth is 2 days. That is not normal, right? So a lot of times it's 15, 20 days. But the point is you can use this data to figure out when you should be sending emails to get people to come back to increase that lifetime value for you. So really cool software, really cool way for you to grow your business, all in a very easy to understand and digestible format. And it just looks really cool to know what your numbers look like at a glance. So great software. Make sure you go check that out. All right, so now that we know the numbers, we can focus on how to improve each of these numbers every single week. Remember, it's about getting 1% better every week. Some people say 1% better every day. I think that's probably not sustainable, but imagine being 52% better by the end of the year. That's what you should be focused on for these numbers. Hey, and if you want to get an exclusive deal for Triple O, make sure you check the link down below in the description so you can check out the software and get it for yourself. All right, guys, so if you like this video, then you're going to love our other videos on Facebook ads for clothing brands. You can check that out right here. All right, y'all, that's all we have for this week. I hope you have a great rest of your day.